Let's talk about how we transformed Lekki Headmaster into our own version, making it more relatable and fun, also maintaining the originality. In the original story, the principal was called Mr. Bipo, but we changed his name to Mr. David Oloye, the vice principal Grace Ape, but now she's Nkechi Obasi, our school nurse Mrs. Titi as Teni Lawal, our chemistry teacher Mr. Justice Annabelle to Mr. Charles, and religious studies teacher Mr. Oyelana as Mr. Adamu. But the school name itself? It was Stardom Schools, and we changed it to Sunrise Academy, a name full of hope and new beginnings. Managing Director Mrs. Gloss as Mrs. Ronke Adebanjo. Now, the students. Sola became Buki Nike, and Like are now Peace and Love. Mr. Anku turned into Mr. Eckert. Chief Walim is now Chief Williams. Mr. Isoro became Mr. Ayobami. Bibi transformed into Barbie. Even behind-the-scenes characters got a refresh. The accountant, Jeremy Amos, is now Timothy the security guard. Jumbo is now Dano. Why did we do this? Because stories become more meaningful when they feel close to home. By changing these names, we made Lekki Headmaster truly our own, and that's the magic of storytelling. Let's talk about the possible questions from this novel. Here are the corrected exam questions with the original character names from the Lekki Headmaster by Kabiralabi Garba. Comprehensive questions and answers from the novel, The Lekki Headmaster. 1. Summarize the plot of The Lekki Headmaster in your own words. Answer. The novel follows Mr. Beppo Adewale, the headmaster of Stardom Schools in Lekki, as he navigates the complex challenges of running a private school. He faces issues such as corruption, financial mismanagement, staff conflicts, and the struggle to maintain discipline and academic excellence. The story highlights the difficulties of school administration in Nigeria, touching on themes like power struggles, moral dilemmas, and leadership. 2. How does the novel portray the challenges of running a private school in Lekki? Answer. The novel showcases various challenges, including financial struggles, corrupt school officials, power tussles, staff incompetence, and the pressure to maintain high academic standards. It also illustrates how school owners often prioritize profits over quality education, leading to ethical dilemmas. 3. What role does Stardom Schools, Sunrise Academy play in the story? Answer. Stardom Schools serves as the main setting and represents the state of private education in Nigeria. It is a school struggling with corruption, financial mismanagement, and administrative issues, reflecting the broader challenges of the education system. 4. How does Mr. Beppo Adewale's Principal David Oloye leadership style influence the school? Answer. Mr. Beppo is principled, dedicated, and disciplined, striving to instill values of integrity and excellence. However, he struggles with resistance from corrupt staff members and school proprietors who are more concerned about profit than education. Character analysis questions 5. Describe Mr. Beppo Adewale's Principal David Oloye character. What are his strengths and weaknesses? Answer. Strengths. He is honest, hardworking, and committed to quality education. He stands firm against corruption and favoritism. Weaknesses. He is sometimes too idealistic and struggles to balance strict discipline with diplomacy, which creates conflicts with other school authorities. 6. How does Mrs. Grace Ape, Vice Principal Nkechi Obasi, contribute to the administration of Stardom Schools? Answer. As the Vice Principal, she plays a vital role in the daily management of the school. She assists Mr. Bipo in disciplinary matters and academic planning. However, her position also puts her in the middle of conflicts between staff and the headmaster. 7. Discuss the role of Mrs. Ibidun Gloss, Mrs. Ronke Adebanjo, Managing Director, in the school's management. Answer. Mrs. Ibidun Gloss, the Managing Director, represents the profit-driven mindset of private school owners. She is more concerned about the school's financial performance than academic integrity, leading to conflicts with Mr. Bipo. 8. How does the character of Mr. Opwanda add tension to the story? Mr. Opwanda, a teacher, plays a role in creating conflicts within the school. He may represent the self-serving or corrupt elements within the staff, causing challenges for the headmaster. 9. Explain the significance of a particular student or staff member who plays a key role in the story, e.g., a character similar to Barbie in the adapted version. Answer. This could be a student or staff member who faces injustice or plays a role in exposing corruption. Their role would highlight the moral dilemmas in the novel. Thematic questions 10. Discuss the theme of corruption in the Lekki Headmaster. Answer. The novel explores corruption in school administration, from financial mismanagement to nepotism and favoritism in staff appointments and promotions. Mr. Beppo fights against this, but faces resistance. 11. How does the novel explore the challenges of education in Nigeria? Answer. It portrays issues like poor funding, profit-driven private schools, lack of teacher motivation, and exam malpractice, showing how they hinder quality education. 12. Explain how the novel highlights issues of morality and ethics in school administration. Answer. It presents moral dilemmas faced by school administrators, including whether to prioritize financial success over education, enforce strict discipline, or compromise with corrupt systems. 13. What role does religion play in the novel, especially through any character resembling Pastor Emmanuel? Answer. A religious figure in the story might represent the moral conscience, advising school leaders on ethical matters but sometimes being ignored. 14. Discuss how gender roles are represented in the Lekki Headmaster. Answer. The novel portrays male and female educators in leadership roles, showing how they struggle with societal expectations, power dynamics, and workplace discrimination. Plot and conflict questions 15. Identify and explain the major conflicts in the novel. Answer. Man versus society. Mr. Bipo fights against corruption in the school system. Man versus man. Power struggles between Mr. Bipo and the school's management. Man versus himself. Mr. Bipo struggles with moral dilemmas. 16. How does Mr. Bipo Adewale, Principal David Oloye, handle the financial crisis at Stardom Schools? Answer. He tries to enforce transparency and accountability, but faces opposition from those benefiting from corruption. 17. What role does a character similar to Chief Williams play in the conflict of the story? Answer. A wealthy or influential figure might try to manipulate school policies for personal or political gain, leading to conflicts with the headmaster. 18. Discuss the significance of the rivalry between staff members in the novel. Answer. The novel shows how staff politics and backstabbing create a toxic work environment, making school administration more difficult. Literary devices and style 19. What literary techniques does the author use to develop suspense? Answer. Foreshadowing, hints about future conflicts. Irony, the contrast between public perception and reality in the school. Cliffhangers, used at the end of chapters to keep readers engaged. 20. Analyze the author's writing style and how it contributes to the novel's themes. Answer. The writing is simple, descriptive, and direct, making it easy to understand while effectively portraying real-life issues in education. 21. How does the use of dialogue help in character development? Answer. Dialogue reveals personality, intentions, and conflicts among characters, making them more realistic. Moral lessons and personal opinions. 22. What lessons can be learned from the Lekki Headmaster? Answer. Integrity is essential in leadership. Corruption in education harms students and society. Standing up for what is right is difficult but necessary. 23. If you were in Mr. Beppo Adewale's, Principal David Oloye position, what would you have done differently? Answer. Possible responses. I would have been more strategic in fighting corruption, rather than confronting it head-on. I would have tried to gain more allies among staff before making reforms. 24. Do you think Mrs. Grace Ape, Vice Principal Nkechi Obasi, was a good Vice Principal? Support your answer with examples. Answer yes, if she supported discipline and transparency. No, if she was complicit in corruption. 25. What is your personal opinion about the ending of the novel? Was it satisfactory? Answer. Answers will vary. A student could argue, yes, if justice was served and positive changes occurred. No, if corruption continued and the protagonist failed. Mrs. Nkechi Obasi, the vice principal of Sunrise Academy, was a woman of wisdom, patience, and diplomacy. While David Oloye, the headmaster, was a strict enforcer of discipline, Mrs. Obasi often found herself in a delicate balancing act, loyal to her principal, but also mindful of the demands from the school's management and staff. She was a respected administrator, known for her ability to mediate conflicts and maintain order among the staff. She had served in the education sector for years and had developed a reputation for being firm but fair. She understood the challenges of running a private school in Lekki, where profit often took precedence over quality education. Whenever tensions flared, Mrs. Obasi was the one to calm the storm. She would call both parties to her office, urging them to see reason. "We are all here for the students," she would say. "Let's not allow our differences to affect their education." Beyond conflict resolution, Mrs. Obasi was responsible for academic coordination. She worked closely with teachers, ensuring that lesson plans were followed, exams were conducted fairly, and students received the best possible education. Despite her dedication to the school, Mrs. Obasi often found herself caught in difficult situations. The school's managing director, Mrs. Ronke Adebanjo, was more interested in financial gain than educational excellence. She frequently cut costs at the expense of teachers' salaries and pressured the administration to inflate student grades to attract more parents. Mrs. Obasi, who had witnessed the struggles of underpaid teachers, sympathized with the staff, but also knew that confronting the management could cost her job. She often found herself walking a tightrope, trying to maintain academic integrity while avoiding conflicts with the school's proprietors. Her greatest test came when rumors of financial mismanagement began circulating. Teachers whispered that funds meant for school development were disappearing. While David Oloye was determined to uncover the truth and expose corruption, Mrs. Obasi urged caution. She knew that exposing such issues in a private school could have serious consequences, not just for the administration, but for the teachers who depended on their jobs to survive. Mrs. Obasi admired David Oloye's integrity, but she often warned him against acting too hastily. "We need to be strategic, David," she told him one afternoon in his office. "If we push too hard, they'll find a way to silence us." Thank you for watching. Before you go, be sure to check out my other videos for more amazing stories. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to support the channel. I'd love to hear your thoughts, so please leave a comment below about what you think of this story. See you in the next video.